if you find yourself your own job and you don't come back when we call you, that's voluntarily. Oh, we're coming up on 500 hours streamed as well. um 2 weeks out from selling our house, we were actually like packing boxes. We had a stager come in. We were getting ready to print or an actual scientist on the project. Doesn't make any difference to me. Would love to see back to any seniority, any like vacation day accruals, anything of that nature. That all still continues to count up, you know. Oh, all right. Well, let's click some old emotes that I had to disable because I didn't have open emote slots. Not. Oh, that's super interesting. Whenever that gets published, I would, how's it going? Great to see you. Thanks for the follow. But, so right now, I'm just cleaning up the pins and taking a look at whether or not there are any shorts on our data pins here. Then we process normal layoffs with severance pay and all that kind of stuff. Oh, 25-bit. Yeah, how time flies, no kidding. If I remember correctly, wasn't super pleased by that. Especially because the entry-level engineering job market right now is real bad. It's not good at all. Wild pieces of that nature. So laid off like 1,000 engineers. So, you know, felt really good about my chances of getting a job. What even is a temp layoff? Basically, it's them going to list the house. And then I came home. I went to work one day, and the middle Really do need to get myself a proper magnifier, though. My first paycheck got deposited, though, so I might actually spring for one. I didn't realize that we had office and said, hey, temporary layoff, we might call you back within 35 weeks. You get your benefits, but that's all you get. Go away. A lot of development in recent years, aside from the continuous glucose monitors from the mechanical engineering side to the polymers used in creating sensors, where that falls. There are benefits because your employment is continuous. So with respect, apparently I've been really I've got 10 slots in animated and 5 in standard. I need to do some work, apparently. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah. Like, why is he asking? I don't know. Yeah. No, that's why. Emotes. And by new, I mean old new, because, you know, they were emotes, and then I got rid of them because I prioritized other ones, and now they're emotes again. Hey. Yeah, no, Nelson, I got laid off from my old job. That stuff is so cool. Yeah, basically it's them telling you, go sit on the couch, collect unemployment, we might call you. If we call you back within 35 weeks, no harm, no foul, we don't owe you anything. If we can't bring you back within 35 weeks... There it is. I'm trying to find one of my... A lot of engineers out there can't find work right now. And the same week that I got laid off, one of the big tech firms in Toronto also... unceremoniously came down from on high and said, hey, the economy sucks right now. A lot of movie productions aren't going on. So we're laying off a third of this branch. And I was one of the names on the list. So went from there's some really wild stuff going on in like bioinks and other stuff like that. There's some really don't let those numbers define you, but also I get tested for it every now and then. So far, so good. If you have the ability to, I would love to read that. I love reading the academic papers of the nerdy smart people in our community. Go looking for it. So I haven't actually worked on, but I've given a lot of feedback and been part of studies with insulin pumps and continuous glucose monitors for the past 25 years. You know, I don't think either of us have ever been to Buffalo. Just on the other side of the border from us, not terribly far, right? Yeah, Google's bought up and canned a lot, but you have no paycheck. You generally will maintain some kind of benefits. You're eligible for unemployment insurance. I don't think I've been US side in Ontario yet. No, yes I have. Just this summer we did. That is, because we want to have the opportunity to call you back, and we don't want to pay severance. So it's them basically saying, you still Streamiversary is. Normally it actually, like, gives you a whole thing about, like, hey, it's coming up. Maybe you should, like, you know, do it. I like the positivity that you just threw in there as well, of just, like, yeah, don't work for us, but, like, we're not going to pay you. And on one side, there are benefits to it, right? So if you actually, you know, I guess we're coming up on my 3-year stream anniversary here, aren't we? That's coming up real fast. I think it's next week sometime, if I remember right. Might even be this week. Not sure. I think Twitch tells me if I... Yeah, continuous glucose is super fantastic, rather than, you know, turning your fingers to hamburger. Do with that information what you will. A thing. I had 6 emote slots available. What?